Hi, everybody. I
Hello.
kept trying to get into the wrong Zoom room. Been quite the morning. I kept going, why is it? What? Oh, a different room. Oh, good afternoon, my darlings. Okay. Hello, Linda. Hello, Terry. Hi, Kim Cook. Hi, Gintana. Diane Ram. How are you, my love? Wendy's been giving me wonderful stories on you. It's great to see you. Hi,
Oh,
Veronica.
thank you.
Hi, Nancy. I like the way you spell your name. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Veronica Bliss. And who's this? Hi, Tatiana. Welcome, everyone. Um, Veronica, it doesn't work that way. Let me tell you how this goes. So I am going to come in here and talk to you about the Akashic Records. And the Akashic Records are something that have fascinated me since I was a little girl. I think I was 11 years old when my mom gave me this amazing book that I have on my bookshelf about Edgar Cayce that was called The Sleeping Prophet. And it talked about how Edgar Cayce would go into this trance and he would bring forth information from the Akashic Records. And I remember at 11 o'clock going, Akashic Records, oh my God, that sounds so familiar. What is that? And this was 1971, and there wasn't much information on anything Akashic, much less anything spiritual. So my pickings were um, Shirley MacLaine, whom most of you don't know. Shirley MacLaine talking about, all of her spiritual experiences. There was a guy named Eric von Daken who had written a book called Chariots of the Gods. There was a book called The Seth Materials by a woman named Jane Roberts, and that was kind of it. So, over time, now people are like Akashic this and Akashic that. But at the time, there wasn't much. In 2017, I see a girlfriend of mine write on Facebook, of all places, hey, I just got trained to read the Akashic Records. Does anyone want a free reading? And I called her on the phone and I was like, Tiffany, how did you learn to do this? Oh my God. I've been fascinated with the Akashic Records my whole life. You know, please pick me, pick me. And she's like, okay. So she does a reading for me. And I'm like, my life has changed forever. So I said, how did you get trained? And she said, I learned from a woman who learned from somebody who learned from somebody who learned from somebody who learned from somebody who learned from Linda Howe, who wrote the quintessential book called How to Read the Akashic Records. Simple enough, right? So I start following Linda Howe on Facebook, and all of a sudden it says that she's going to be teaching a live class. Listen, I would have done everything except possibly donate my cat for medical experiments, pay for the and the class was like $850, right? And at the time, that seemed like a lot of money. Now I'm like, that's how much I charge an hour, right? But she was just, I mean, it was fascinating. So um, I signed up for this class, and there's 48 of us from around the world. And we're on a platform that at the time was called Learn It Live, that looks very much like TikTok does now. Sorry, Facebook does now. What? No, what the hell are we doing? Zoom does now. All these people in little boxes. And, I have a partner and she's in China and we're 12 hours apart. So like at her 8 a.m., it's mine 8 p.m. and we're reading each other's Akashic records. But I was really good at it and I was just fascinated by it. And Spirit said to me in one of my readings, you are a guardian of the records. You are a keeper of the records. And you're here to teach people how to read the Akashic records. And I was like, what the hell? What the hell? I came from banking and finance, but this was my journey in life. So I dug into this thing and then I started teaching people. And I was told this person's a guardian of the records and this person's a guardian. And so our responsibility, and look, if you got here, you didn't trip and fall into this room. Came here with intention, you were led into the records. So what's going to happen is I'm going to read one of you. And my lovely assistant, Priyanka, is psychic as hell. And we like to pretend this game with her that she's not because she says that she's not. And we let her, we play along with her. But Spirit has already chosen who's going to get a reading today. Sorry, I have nothing to do with it. They choose. So she's going to go into her little mystical place that she goes, and a person gets picked. So, while I would love to say, hi, Veronica Bliss, welcome, it's your first time, there are people that have been here many, many times. They waited their turn. So we'll see, because there happens to be two Veronicas here today. So we'll see who Priyanka picks. But what I can tell you about the Akashic Records is the Akashic Records are a realm of it's like everything that you've ever thought, everything that you've ever felt, every sensation you've ever had, every action that you've ever taken across all time and space, across all of your lifetimes is recorded in the Akashic records. Think of it like the universe's iCloud, and everything's there. Now, we have some very, very gifted people like Linda Toma, who is also one of the archivists and one of the guardians of the records. So not only does she read the records, and she's extraordinary at it, but she's also one of the people that is responsible for the integrity of the records. So while she may have, quote unquote, just got trained to read the records, she's been doing this for a really long time. And we just got some more confirmation about that this morning. Didn't we, Linda? Oh, yes, we did. Oh, yes, we did. Having a problem with my video. Okay, Beverly. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe log out and log back in. That usually helps. So from time to time, I do readings, in these free master classes. And then Priyanka and I work with another woman named Kat, and Kat will come forth with this idea. And she's like, why don't we run a special? So, readings that are normally $444 for 15 minutes are on sale for $88 or $77. So I've done readings with people during those specials. I'm not offering any right now because I'm just tired. I'm just a little burnt out. But my birthday's coming in October, so there might be something coming in October. And then there's going to be Thanksgiving and the holidays and all that. So there's bound to be something. But there is something else that's really incredible right now. I just had 9 people graduate from a class that I teach that is called Transformational Alchemy Healing. And in that class, it's not going to be that way going forward, but in the class that I taught, because we're changing it really, people learned how to read the Akashic Records. Now, if you want to learn how to read the Akashic Records, you got to wait a few months, or you got to come be part of the year-long mastermind training that we're doing, that a few other people in here are participating in. But learning to read the Akashic Records, and you can learn it by reading Linda Howe's book. There are a lot of ways that people can get into the Akashic Records. Ernest Laszlo talks about it. A lot of people talk about how to get into the Akashic Records. But when you're in the Akashic Records, it becomes like you walk into Harry Potter, going into the hall where all the remembrals were. Like all these memories are there of you and other people through your myriad of lifetimes. So if you don't believe in past lives, doesn't matter. If you don't believe in all things spiritual, doesn't matter. I don't know what you're doing here if you don't, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to believe in it, but it's the truth. And people like Linda and myself and many others have this phenomenal capacity to be able to go into, hey, Beverly, I'm glad that worked out, have the capacity to be able to go into your records and answer a lot of the questions that you have. Now, you can go to the past, you can look at your lifetime in the present, and you can even go into the future. But they're not a crystal ball, because what is the one thing that God gave everybody? Anybody?
Free will.
Free will.
Free will.
All right, Kim's hired. Exactly. Free will. And we were given free will because, listen, Linda and I we were at a retreat last week together. And yes, exactly, Veronica. And here's what happened. She offered to do some readings for some people. And she read this first person and it was fabulous. She read a second person, but the second person was like, well, I've already had a reading and I want to check the answers. And I want to, see if there's, I want more information on this thing. And here's the truth. Okay, you're different. You're different. You're different. You're different. We are constantly changing and jumping timelines. Every thought we have puts us on a different timeline. So who you were last week, much less, 100 lifetimes ago, is completely different. So when you go into the Akashic Records, you're going into the records of the being that's in front of you, but that changes from moment to moment. So you can't say, well, the last time I had my records, they said blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to say, well, the last time you had your records, you weren't who you are now. So what you're looking for in the records is to understand why you have the conditions that you have in your life right now, because all lifetimes funnel into this one. So you have issues with your parents, you have issues with money, you have issues with men, you have issues with jobs, you have issues with your body. Whatever your stuff is, it's like there's an original domino and then there's another one and another one and another one and another one. If you can go back to that original domino and heal it, the entire line goes flat and you no longer have that issue in this lifetime. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So we use the Akashic Records as a healing modality. So not only do I teach people how to read the records, but I also teach them something phenomenal that's called Akashic healing. And in Akashic healing, It's like, you know how when you have your iPhone, if you click a program, it's literally like you dive into your phone and you're suddenly in that program. Like imagine watching a show or coming to a class. Suddenly you're in this world and everything else seems to disappear. When you go in to do a healing in the Akashic records, you learn how to go to your place of peace. You learn how to go to a round table. You learn how to talk to spirit guides. You learn how to talk to angels and archangels. You learn to talk. I mean, I channel almost 30 different ascended masters. I channel Jesus. Yes, I do. One of my proudest moments in my life is channeling Jesus. I channel Mary Magdalene. We wrote a book together. You will find out things about yourself. You will find out things about life. You will find out why you're so scared. Why did I love snakes and I was terrified of spiders? I found that out and I healed it. And now I'm like, I was sitting in the bathroom when we were up at this retreat, and there's a little spider, and he's weaving a web on the bathroom door. And I'm like, hi, Spider-Man. I call all spiders Spider-Man. Hi, Spider-Man. And he lifts his little head up and he turns around, he starts coming towards me. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm okay. I can be with you, but like, don't crawl on me. And he's coming towards my foot, and I'm like lifting my foot in the air. I mean, it was hilarious. I'm like wiping myself, flushing, and getting out of there so I don't have to hurt the spider. But yesterday my mom was getting in the car and there was a spider on the door. Before I would have been like, a spider. And I was just like, Mom, there's a spider on the door. She goes, oh, okay. I open the door. I let her in. I close the door and the spider goes, he was on a little web. So he like went for a ride. And I was like, hi, spider. He was gone by the time we got to the market. But it's like all the things that we think that we're afraid of. Ugh. My most chilling story about the records was asking why I was so scared of my dad. And I had this one student, and boy, was she extraordinary with reading the records. And she says, 493 lifetimes ago, you were his daughter, but he sold you into prostitution and slavery, and he kept you in your house, and he kept you in rags, and he made all this money off of you. And then you fell in love with someone, and you tried to run away, and you stole money from him, and he killed you by having you stoned to death. I'm like, well, that would explain a few things. Like, these are the stories that get told in the records. You can't make this stuff up. Like, we're not Steven Spielberg. We're not George Lucas. We're not that entertaining. We're not that creative. What they did was they had access to the Akashic records. Why were we so terrified by the movie Alien? Because it resonated with some part of us. If your mind has resonance with something, you'll either be enthralled by it, terrified by it, love it, hate it, and everything in between. So when people come for a reading, people are like, tell me something about myself. What should I know? That's like walking into a library and saying, what book should I read? You come with questions. You come and you say, why do I love this? Why am I terrified of that? Why am I obsessed with this? How come I have this fear? How come I have this phobia? Like things about your life, like use it as a tool for healing. Does that make sense? This isn't like, and my older crowd will understand, where's Jimmy Hoffa's body buried, or who really killed JFK, or, it's not that kind of stuff. This is not for your curiosity. Now, you can go in and be curious about your own life, for sure. But when you're doing a reading for somebody else, it really comes down to you being of service to spirit and being of service to the records. And God, are they so excited that we show up? They are thrilled. They are the most warm and welcoming. Although I must admit, the first time I ever opened the records, I go in there, there's a prayer you say aloud, there's a prayer you say silently, you feel the energy, everything opens up, and it's like, whoa. And all of a sudden, there are these beings, and they're jumping up and down, and they're screaming at me, halls of Amenti, halls of Amenti, halls of Amenti. And I'm terrified out of my mind. So if the Akashic Records were a book, I was like this. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? So I reached out to my teacher, Linda Howe, and I'm like, what on earth was that? And she said, well, obviously they're really excited to see you. I go, what are the Akashic Records? She goes, have you Googled it? I'm like, no. So I Googled the Akashic Records. No. What are the halls of Amenti? I asked her, and she said, Google it. I want to tell you that I've been watching your replays and following your channel for a couple of years now, and absolutely, I love your Mary Masterclass. I love the Hathor channeling, and I meant that for my first time joining. Aw, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. So I Google halls of Amenti, and it says Thoth the Atlantean. I'm like, oh my God, now we're in Atlantis. Thoth the Atlantean gathered up all the records and put them in his starship and flew them to Egypt. And now there's this whole thing about Edgar Cayce and the Akashic Records are near the Sphinx in Egypt. And anyway, so I go back in and I'm like, hello? I'm terrified. Hello? And they're like, welcome back, beloved. Um, Priyanka, can you message Alicia and said, Lynn says, yes, thank you so much. And she's just in the middle of leading a masterclass. One of my other people is on her way over to my house and she's like, would you like a poke bowl more than anything in the world? Just please tell her no sriracha sauce. I'm so blessed. Like truly, I'm so blessed by the people of my world. So I go back in and they say, look, you're one of the guardians of the records. You are known as Sahaniel. You are known as the keeper of the records. You are known as she who remembers. And I'm like, nothing like a little pressure, right? But over the years, since 2018, I graduated as and the certificate's on the wall. I am according to Linda Howe, an advanced Akashic record practitioner. It's one of the licenses that I have that I am just the most proud of. And what I have been allowed to do is to teach people how to read the records. I'm a psychic, I'm a medium, I am a channel, and I am an oracle. So when I read people's records, it isn't me, Lynn, and my dazzling personality. I actually shift into, and you'll see the transformation when it happens. It's really, really crazy. Uh-oh. I just got this crazy message that says your social security number is on the dark web. We recommend locking your what? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I recommend locking your credit profile. I thought my credit profile is locked. You know how sometimes you get these messages and you're like, is that real or is it fake? So
Yeah, I think it's just a spam. That's
well, I just
don't
want to make
click any links.
Yeah.
no, I'm going
No.
directly into my app.
Okay.
But good Lord, let me just make sure everything's locked. Yep. Okay. You bargaining bastards, you big lying liars. That wasn't real. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's what I have to do with my mom when they call and they're like, you owe us $200,000. I'm like, Mom, hang up. It's all a lie. Anyway, so Priyanka is going to choose someone. If you would like to have your records read, please give us a yes, raise a hand, whatever. If you've already had your records read by us, please give someone else a chance. But if you haven't had your records read and you don't get chosen today, please come back again. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh God, the energy's starting to move in already. Oh, I don't know if any of you have ever taken ayahuasca or mushrooms. My God, I gotta tell you, channeling is very much like that whole shift in frequency and perspective. Like it's not you. You just go into this altered state, this alternate frequency, and then they come through. So you guys will see this. And my beloved Priyanka. So Priyanka's been with me for 4 years. We just celebrated our anniversary last month of 4 years where I found her, where she found me, where we found each other on Facebook. God bless Facebook. Um, and so if you guys are willing to pay for a session, we have paid sessions available. And we have a fun little special that we're running right now because I saw one of my girlfriends do this and my staff was like, why don't you do this? And I'm like, okay. So my readings are normally $1,888 and I'm offering a half an hour reading for 888. If you guys want to have one of the most intense experiences of your life, it's a psychic reading. It usually involves channeling Jesus or Mary Magdalene or any one of the other 27 Ascended Masters. But we have that as a special that we're doing right now. So that's available. What else do we have going on? Just a quick little thing. We have a retreat coming up to Hawaii that's going to be so extraordinary. And Metatron was meeting with a group of us last night and said that it was really important. We're going to Maui to Lahaina to do some extraordinary healing. We're staying in this stunning resort in Lahaina, and we have a retreat coming up next year that's going to take us to the south of France. Magdalene will be guiding us on that tour. As soon as it's safe, we're going to be going back to Israel. We're taking people to Mount Shasta. We're taking people to Stonehenge, all these beautiful like energy vortices around the world. So we have a lot of that goes on. And then we have classes and I have an incredible array of gorgeous teachers that have studied with me for years that lead these classes. And then we have the year-long mastermind. So there's the little mini sales pitch of all the stuff we do. But we've got Psychics Galore. And this is the work that I love. This is what I love to do. This is my life's work. And I'm here for all of it in service to God. So that being said, and the winner is Priyanka.
The winner is Veronica Hernandez.
Aw, Veronica Hernandez. How cute is that? All right, Miss Veronica Hernandez, where are you? There she is. Okay, how fun is this going to be? So, Veronica Hernandez, I need your full legal name.
Veronica Patricia Hernandez Arrue.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I know. Veronica Patricia
Hernandez
Hernandez
Arrue, Arrue.
Arrue. Listen, I did a reading for a girl who was also from Peru the other day, and I'm not kidding you. She had 7 names. She had her name, 2 middle names, her mother's first and middle name, and then her father's first middle. I was like, what are you like? Are you afraid you're going to lose each other if you don't have 7 names? No, it's ridiculous. Anyway, I love you madly. You know that. Okay, so here's how this goes. I am now going to, oh, my crown's already buzzing. Woof. Oh, the Peruvians are here. Woof. I'm now going to open Veronica's Akashic records. There's a portion that I say aloud. There's a portion of this prayer that I say silently. They come in, your masters, teachers, and loved ones. What happens is our crown, our third eye, our throat chakras, and our heart chakras sync. And I will open the records for Veronica. It's a pretty extraordinary process. If you have never seen this before, you're in for a treat. And again, if you didn't get chosen today, please come back. And like I said, we have classes that are coming. I have 2 beautiful students, Penny and Terry. They're going to be taking people on an 8-week journey of teaching people all kinds of things, including how to read the records. So if you have any interest in that, I think the standalone class is $555. The 8-week class itself teaches 10, 11, I don't know, amazing psychic healing techniques. So you could come and participate that way. The class is 3,333. But if you just want to do that one section, or if you want to learn how to do the healing, if that's up your alley, you can take 2 classes. Anyway. Okay, I think that's enough. Here we go. Going in. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to us. O Holy Spirit of God, help me to know Veronica in the light of the Akashic records, to see Veronica through the eyes of the Lords of the Records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones of Veronica have for her. The records are now open, beloved one. We thank you for your presence. We thank you for joining with us. We thank you for all that you have accomplished. We thank you for coming back out of the cave to be amongst the living, shall we say. We thank you for your service to humanity. We thank you for your huge and profound heart. How may we be of assistance to you, beloved one? What questions do you have for us today?
One of the questions I have, thank you, is
Indeed.
3 lifetimes ago,
Mm.
I was told I was a medicine woman, shaman, and I
Yes.
made a promise that is still going in this life.
Mm.
And I want to know what that promise is.
Mm. Beloved, you had to, for the sake of your tribe, allow yourself to go into hiding. You have kept yourself living a very private life, have you not? You were
Yes.
being hunted, shall we say, and you needed to allow yourself to be protected. Understand that women of your caliber, of your knowledge, and of your education did not receive certificates and designations as you have within this incarnation. But there was a vow to keep everything hidden, shall we say. And it is now time for you, beloved, to remove this promise, this vow. There is nothing that needs to be protected as it did then. Do you understand?
Yes.
There
Yes.
is a way in which you can unmake this vow by saying, I am no longer willing to remain in hiding. I am willing to bring forth all of my gifts, my knowledge, and my truths to the universe in service to divine spirit. I am no longer willing to remain in vows of hiding. I am no longer willing, for understand, beloveds, that each one of you have free will, do you not? Understand the power of the will. You have a certain desire, beloved, and then you have an intention for this desire to manifest. And then you allow this to occur within your lives. And then you have the acceptance of that which is what you had desired. But understand, beloved, you are a miracle worker. You are one who is able to help bring people to truth. You have the allies of the plant world, do you not?
Yes.
You have an understanding that is inherent and that is ancient, far beyond 3 incarnations, beloved. You have a synchronicity and a relationship with Gaia herself. Your love for her is profound. Your understanding of her and her magic. Understand that when there are certain plants that were given as gifts to Gaia herself, they were meant for the journeys of the souls that have chosen to come and to journey upon her surface. But she is in pain now, beloved. There is so much destruction that has been wrought. And there is a time that is coming when darkness will come once again. And you are here to help in her transition, as well as that of the light workers who have come to help the masses. So indeed, it is time for you to relinquish, shall we say, to release yourself from the chains that have bound you and to bring yourself fully into light. And you have connected with a community, have you not?
Yes.
Is
Yes.
pressuring, almost pushing with a foot on your backside, pushing you forward, urging you to come into the light. You cannot help it. Those with whom you have come into close proximity and association will usher you back where you belong, beloved. This you can be assured.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are welcome indeed, child. Child, we thank you for your genius. We thank you for your beauty. We thank you for your magic, for it is necessary and it is needed. And blessings to your precious children and your precious grandbabies. Ooh, they are a delight. That little girl, she is of you. She is medicine woman as you are. She is shaman in a tiny little body. You will teach her what you know, and it shall be good.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We love you. And indeed, we are with you. And when you allow yourself to remember how to speak to us, which you do, but in an unconscious fashion, you shall find that everything that you have ever desired will come to fruition for you, beloved one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Blessings and greetings, and indeed, we shall speak again.
Thank you so much.
Oh, hold on, I got to get a bottle of water. Okay, wait. I'd like to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion. I'd like to thank the lords of the Akashic records for their point of view. I'd like to thank the Holy Spirit of light for all knowledge and healing. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. My eyes are tearing. Oh, there's a lot of love. Okay, hold on. Let me grab
Wow.
a bottle of water. Was that everything you wanted, babe?
Absolutely. I mean, I had other questions, but that didn't seem like this was the primordial question I had, because it just encompasses everything, right? I mean, I don't know why I didn't understand why I couldn't come out of hiding, although I'm pretty open about what I do privately, but not in a group setting, and
Right.
always careful. I mean, there are things to be careful, but
Yeah.
I
Listen,
just wanted to know.
it's all. I have so many amazing things to tell you, but we'll do that at a later time. Yeah. Well, right on. Anyway,
Thank you.
thank you all so much for being here. Again, if you weren't chosen today, please come back. I do this a couple times a month. I do some other really fun things. There's one we do called Safe, that's sacred alignment with feelings and emotions. There's another one that we do that's about clearing the clairs, which is about helping you to open up your God-given little psychic toolkit from God. Everybody comes with a psychic toolkit: clairaudience, clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience. And I had the craziest thing happen. I was going to channel Mary Magdalene yesterday, and all of a sudden I feel this thing on my arm, and it's a ladybug. How cute is that? How is there a ladybug in my house? Like, so random. Anyway, I thank you all for being here. Michelle, oh my God, hi baby.
Hi, Lynn.
Oh my God, I love you.
I love you
Is it
too.
really going to take a year for you to come back?
Um, I'm giving myself 8 to 12 months to get everything settled here.
Okay,
Yeah,
baby,
but we'll definitely.
I'm so sorry about the passing of your mom.
Thank
And
you.
my prayer for her is, may her soul receive the highest elevation possible, given her good works this lifetime. And I love you madly.
I love you too. We'll definitely give me a
Reach out,
call.
please.
Yeah,
I'd love that. It's so good
I
to see
miss
you.
you too. So
I love you.
love you.
Hi, Alexandra. Thanks for being here. I want to thank you all for being here. Hey, Tina Marie. Look how beautiful you look in that picture. Uh, anyway, thank you all. I love you. I love you. It's always a pleasure for me. I always think before, like I just had this total meltdown earlier today where I cried for 20 minutes in front of a group of 8 friends. Totally didn't see it coming. And I was like, I don't think I'm up for doing this. And I reached out to one of the girls, and I'm like, can you pinch hit for me? And she's like, no. She's like, but Lynn, when you're at your raw, when you're the most raw, like it's going to be beautiful. So I thank you all for being with me. Um, I'm definitely having one of those major emotional days, like an emo day. My mentor Melanie says this is the day that you take a blanket and you roll up on the couch like a sushi roll, and you just let people come and feed you. And my mom made food for me. I have a container of food for like the weekend with what she made. So I feel loved and taken care of. Thank you all so much for being here. Wait, let me see if there's anything else in the messages. Aw. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Sending you so much love, and we'll see you again. Priyanka, thank you. I love you. Veronica, thank you. I love you. I love you all. Have a
Thanks.
beautiful day, and Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Blessings.
Bye.